The story of Theseus, the Greek hero who defeated the Minotaur. Theseus is the son of King Aegeus of Athens and the Etruscan princess, Ethra. When his mother becomes pregnant, Aegeus is tricked by the god of the sea, Poseidon, into believing that his son has died during childbirth. Therefore, Ethra is taken to Troezen to give birth in secret. In Troezen, Ethra raises Theseus with the help of the local queen, who educates him in the arts and fighting. Theseus becomes a strong and brave young man, with great skill in the handling of swords and other weapons. He is also characterized by his audacity and his love for justice, which leads him to have conflicts with other young men and to defend the weak. When Theseus turns 16, he decides to journey to Athens to meet his father and make a name for himself in his hometown. Ethra gives him a sword and shoes that his father had left in her care, and reveals his true identity. She also gives him an important mission: to lift a heavy stone that his father had left in the city and retrieve the sword and shoes hidden underneath it. Theseus accepts the challenge and arrives in Athens, where he encounters several obstacles along the way. However, thanks to his wit and skills, he manages to overcome them and fulfill his mission. Once in the city, he confronts his father without revealing his true identity, and convinces him to accept him as his servant. Theseus and the Minotaur. The story of Theseus and the Minotaur is one of the most well-known legends in Greek mythology. It tells how the young Theseus faced the half-man, half-bull monster that inhabited the labyrinth of Crete and defeated it, freeing Athens from the tribute that King Minos of Crete demanded annually. According to the legend, King Minos of Crete had imposed a tribute on Athens consisting of 7 young men and 7 maidens who were delivered to the Minotaur, a monster begotten by the queen of Crete and a bull sent by the god Poseidon as punishment for the king's sins. In the 3rd year of this sacrifice, Theseus volunteered to be one of the youths sent to Crete. When Theseus arrived in Crete, he was received by Ariadne, the daughter of King Minos, who fell in love with him and decided to help him escape from the labyrinth and face the Minotaur. To do this, she gave him a ball of thread that he was to tie at the entrance of the labyrinth and that would serve him to find the exit after defeating the monster. Theseus, armed with his sword and bravery, entered the labyrinth and confronted the Minotaur. After a fierce battle, Theseus managed to defeat the monster and find the way out of the labyrinth thanks to the thread he had left in his path. Theseus and the other Athenian youths managed to escape from Crete and return to their hometown, where they were received with great joy and celebrations. Theseus became a hero and his name became famous throughout Greece. However, the story does not end there. Theseus had promised Ariadne that he would take her with him to Athens, but he abandoned her on the island of Naxos. This led to Theseus facing the wrath of the gods and having several problems in his later life. The story of Theseus and the Minotaur is an example of courage, valor, and cunning in Greek mythology. It also shows that actions have consequences and that promises must be kept, as Theseus suffered the consequences of his betrayal to Ariadne. Theseus as king of Athens. After his feat in Crete, Theseus returned to Athens as a hero and became a prominent figure in Athenian politics and society. Despite his popularity, Athens was a city divided into different clans and tribes, and Theseus decided to unify them under his leadership. One of the first measures Theseus took was to move the Athenian government headquarters from Eleusis to Athens, which became the new capital. In addition, Theseus established a set of laws and regulations that governed the city, known as the Constitution of Theseus, which included the abolition of slavery and the creation of a justice system. It is also said that Theseus was one of the founders of the Panathenaic Games, an athletic and cultural celebration held every 4 years in honor of the goddess Athena. During these games, competitions in athletics, music, poetry, and theater were held, and they were an opportunity for Athenians to gather and celebrate their identity as citizens of Athens. However, despite his achievements, Theseus also had problems in his government. He faced opposition from some of the most powerful clans in Athens and had to deal with several conspiracies and rebellions during his reign. In addition, Theseus was not always a fair and virtuous king. According to some versions of the legend, Theseus kidnapped the Amazon queen Hippolyta and brought her back to Athens as his wife. This angered the Amazons, who later invaded Athens in an attempt to reclaim their queen. Despite these problems, Theseus ruled Athens for many years and left a lasting mark on the city and its culture. His legacy as the unifier of Athens and as the founder of the Panathenaic Games is still remembered to this day. The death of Theseus. The death of Theseus is a topic that varies depending on the version of the legend that is considered. There are several versions of his death, but the most popular one tells that he was exiled from Athens. According to the legend, Theseus married Phaedra, the sister of Ariadne, but after a while he fell in love with another woman, which angered Phaedra. In some versions, Phaedra falsely accused him of rape, while in others she simply expelled him from the city. In any case, Theseus was banished from Athens and retired to the island of Skyros. There, he was received by King Lycomedes, who offered him hospitality. However, King Lycomedes betrayed him and threw him from a cliff, causing his death. Another version of his death says that Theseus returned to Athens after his exile, but was received with hostility by the Athenians and eventually died in the city. Some legends tell that he was killed by one of his sons, while others say that he was assassinated by a political rival. In any case, the death of Theseus was a tragic event that ended his reign as king of Athens and turned him into a legendary figure in Greek mythology. His legacy as a unifier of Athens and hero of the fight against the Minotaur is still remembered to this day. And so concludes the fascinating story of Theseus, the brave Greek hero who faced the fearsome Minotaur in the labyrinth of Crete. His courage, intelligence, and determination made him a symbol of the fight against oppression and injustice. I hope you have enjoyed this narration as much as I enjoyed telling it. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more epic stories and fascinating legends. Until next time.